ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Mike 52. Check that out. Check it. Ready? Mike 52. Let's go. 80. Wide. Get wide.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Watch twist.
They'll run it with Bell. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Darnold from the gun. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. On now is the 27-year-old rookie, Mitch Wisnowski, to punt. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. Taking it about the 16. Now, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go with Leonard Fournette, 3rd-year back from LSU. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It can be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Okay, just like that. Just like that.
Fournette running out of the gun. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down right around the 37. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Let's go, baby.
2 carries for him now on the opening drive, both for good yardage.
And based on film study, they thought that there was a chance to spring him more than once for some pretty good yardage in this game.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And an alley to run. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Leonard Fournette. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual-type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off. That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Third and 2, now Wilson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. Let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
This will be taken very short. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
On second down now, it's Coleman. He's got the first down and more past midfield. 30, the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. He's at the 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Leonard Fournette, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And it's no good. He misses the PAT. So file that one away. Could eventually loom large here as the night progresses. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On second down, it's Coleman. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
16, 49ers 7. Here we go.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
I got you, boy. Hey, one set. Hey, whoa.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
Mike, move the team. Mike, 5-4. Back to right. Move the team.
A shotgun give to Fournette. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down.
Let's get it.
Fourth down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin him back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. Well, that gives him a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes the 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier.
Here we go.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Here we go on 4th down with Garoppolo. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
It's taken to the 26. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Rolling to his left. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Here we go, G. 25. Check. Run left. Boost it, please. Good job right there. Go. Screen, man, front.
Now Wilson on first down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Fournette fighting through. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Leonard Fournette on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
21. Here we go.
On second down, it's Coleman, and he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
11. Hey, Alpha. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Friday. No. Good.
Here's Wilson. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
He's not going to get me. One fluff. 59. Oh, try. Put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Check 26. And let's go double count right here. Double count.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Lets it go for Nelson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Check. Walk 54. Down to lose one. Go.
On first down, Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Who draw Corker?
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Garoppolo letting one go deep for a Nunwa. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Quincy Enunwa, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
3rd down and 8 yards to go.
Here we go. Like 20. Strong right.
There's Garoppolo to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there for the Niners. 52 yards. On first down, Coleman. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They will run again with Coleman. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
Here we go. 181, Omaha. Watch the run.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 5th touchdown now on the year. As these guys are able to pull a bit closer. They'll try and run it in with Coleman. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before you get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they watch this lead shrink a little. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Go, 14. Look for signal. Got it. Check 24.
From the 41, Wilson is going to loft it deep right sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
36 power. 25.
They'll indeed go for him with Wilson. It's caught. Nelson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
First down, Seattle.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for first and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And an alley to run. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Leonard Fournette. 41 yards. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They begin the drive with Coleman. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him with a great performance and how much of that is the defense just loosening up because they have a big lead.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Here we go. 80! Let's get the ball.
Play action. Garoppolo. Rolling to his right. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and it'll bring up third down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
21. 13.
They do go for it. It's Garoppolo taking a shot for Samuel. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
One left. Shit. Mike, check. 59.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. And that will be caught. But out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. J.J. Nelson, the intended target, but it'll be second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, watch the slant. Got it. Jim.
This is Fournette. And he'll get this down only to the 18. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
14.
Again, it's Fournette. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Myers' kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They can't stop Bruce Irvin there as he slips in for the sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. The Niners on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Garoppolo. A screen to Bell. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. Garoppolo now. 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Nunez got it. Complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and long. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. Completes it to Samuel. And some room to run now. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Tevin Coleman with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the 49ers get a score closer. Gold with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And I think the ball's out. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. So first and 10 now from the 30. Fournette. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks.
Let's go, D. Check. 19. Check.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And shedding through the tackle.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside.
We play to win. Let's go. Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that? A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. He's had it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
12. Get him, boy.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. The Seahawks on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Go, 14. Check, 59.
To throw is Wilson. Lets it go for Nelson. This is caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who have been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Fred Warner coming off a strong rookie year in on the stop for the Niners.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll try the right side here with Fournette. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. You know coming. This is more last time. Check. Watch the ship. Hey. Watch it.
Fournette, first down, still going. The 30, past the 20. And finally they get him to the ground, but it's all the way down at the Niners' 10-yard line.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Ready?
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
Set, ready? 8, read. Check 59.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that